Hi everyone, it is Aya James. I'm very surprised that Blizzard nerfed Sorcerer so much in the 1.1 patch. Despite that, I took advantage of some buffs in the patch and updated my favorite Thor build to perform decently in 1.1 and Season 1. Before diving into the build, I'd like to talk about a few key nerfs to Sorcerer in the 1.1 patch. From my testings, in general it feels like I can push 10 to 15 tiers lower than before the patch, and speed farm 5 tiers lower than before, because of around 30% nerfed damage, cooldown, and survivability. Also, the control aspect is nerfed that it now applies to only one stack instead of 3 stacks to a stunned, frozen, and immobilized enemy, not just bosses. Plus the Devouring Blaze big nerf to immobilized enemy from 75% to 30%, and for 6 ranks it is 150% to 60%. So it leads to a 77.9% damage nerf to the nuke moment, that the nuke moment now deals roughly 1/5 of the damage and is no longer viable. But my favorite Thor build is getting buffed in the 1.1 patch because of the change on Destruction Glyph and the Elemental Dominance, that builds with mix of core and master skills work better now. I updated my Thor build and changed a few aspects, and was able to complete a tier 71 Nightmare dungeon and finish a tier 54 boss in 28 seconds. It still has space to improve as I haven't replaced my weapon to Conceited, as I'm out of high value Conceited, but I want to showcase the good potentials of the build in Season 1 first, while iterating on it. So stay tuned. For the build, I will cover the keys in the video. You can find the full build details in the pinned comment. The first important thing is to use Disobedience at Amulet. This might sound weird given the noticeable nerfs on the maximum value from 50% to 30%, but it is much easier to keep max stacks now because of the reduced stack depreciation speed. Prior to the patch 1.1, I can hardly keep 100 stacks versus single enemy. If I get crowd controlled, I lose my stacks quickly that I will get one shot. But after the patch, I can easily keep 60 stacks even with single enemy, and it takes much longer before the stack starts to depreciate, making it much more consistent in fights and between fights. And since armor stats on gears get nerfed a lot, putting Disobedience on Amulet is extremely important for high survivability in the endgame. Second, you may wonder, does using Disobedience on Amulet downgrade a lot of my damage? Not really, because I'm going to use Exploiter and Fortune to further improve my damage. As I have much more stun sources now with Lightning Spear instead of Flame Shield, enemies can often get unstoppable. So Exploiter gives another 40% damage boost to unstoppable enemies. Plus the 20% increased crowd control duration that staggers boss faster. Second, I'm running Ball Lightning only at the enchantment position, that the lucky hit chance becomes very important in triggering it. So Fortune gives me more Ball Lightning, Crackling Energy, and mana. As for Gears and Paragon Ball, they are all the same as the Chain Lightning nuke build, so no need to worry about the gears getting outdated or spending millions of gold respecking if you follow the Chain Lightning nuke build. I'm still using my +3 Devouring Blaze amulet, which works fine. It is heartbreaking to see Blizzard made such a move to nerf globally. Some say it is the worst patch in recent gaming history. This seems to be really bad for people who played preseason, as for the big regressions. Personally, I would say it is basically a new game now that I need to relearn what I have learned. I'm researching the Caged Hearts and the new unique and aspects, and will share my findings. It might save the 15 tier difference. What do you think? Thank you for watching, and see you next time.